Hello. Waiting to see who all joins us tonight. I've got a weird angle because of the resin. So let's see. I'm gonna give it about 4 minutes because I said 7 and I'm starting 4 minutes early. How are you? So I am going to be doing something that I haven't done before, and I am going to be doing something that I have done before. If that makes sense. I have some experience with resin. I've been doing a couple of different types of resin pieces. I have done some different types of like pin holders, and so this is done with alcohol inks and paint. I actually just painted on the side. Another one looks like this. So I have a little bit of experience with resin. I have done a couple of different resin pieces. I have a couple of different resin molds. I have a resin coffin that comes out really cool. But tonight I am going to do something I haven't done, which is top coat. And I'm a little scared. I'm not sure how this is going to go. I've seen how it's done. I've watched the Artsy Mad Woman. And I'm hoping that I've gotten it. I know that she uses blue painter's tape, which isn't on my desk right now. Good thing though, I'm in my craft room and I know where my painter's tape was. So the things that you need for the resin. First off, I want to start with safety. Safety first. When you're messing with resin is two chemicals combining. They're going to give off gases, and so you're going to want to wear a respirator. And the respirator I use is the type of filters that I use. I also have a little air filter right here that I turn on when I'm pouring resin and when resin is sitting. I have this air filter on, and I will typically leave this air filter on because this is a pretty small room. I typically leave this air filter on overnight and while the resin is curing. If it's not raining outside, which unfortunately it is right now, but if it's not raining outside, then I would lift the window that's right behind me, and that allows the room to ventilate a little bit more. But tonight it'll be my little air purifier, which is really, really good. So I have my little air purifier, my respirator. My brain all of a sudden is like, no, not going to give you that word. My respirator, and you're going to want to wear gloves. You're also going to want to wear clothes that if resin gets on them, you're not heartbroken. I've got an oversized shirt on because if resin got on this, I wouldn't be heartbroken. It's a shirt that when I was almost 300 pounds, and this was the shirt that would fit really tight on me, and now not so much. So that's where we are. Things that you're going to need. Obviously, you're going to need resin. You're going to want to get some painter's tape. This right here, this little torch, I use it sparingly. I prefer using my little tiny heat gun, but we use this anytime that you're wanting to get the bubbles out of a piece. Now, what is the difference? Why is one better than the other, or vice versa? This is really good about getting air bubbles out of resin. However, it's hot, really hot. It's flame, and it will burn your mold, and sometimes it will fuse your resin to your mold. Then the piece and the mold is ruined. So I use this very sparingly. Plus, I am horrible about filling this up. Like I've not had to use one until I started messing around with resin, so I'm still not comfortable with this. And when I go to fill it up, I don't know. I don't know if I just don't fill it up right. It says like turn it over upside down and wait for it. Like you can feel it getting cold. I can never feel it getting cold. So, I don't know. So I don't really fill this one up too often. So I try not to use it because it honestly makes me panic when I have to fill it up. So I don't use it a whole lot. I use my heat gun. We have one that we use for prop work when my husband's making prop weapons and things of that nature. We have one that is heavy duty and it's big. I don't use that for resin. I don't need that for resin. I would just need this for resin. So I'm going to have painter's tape tonight as part of the basics, and you'll see later why. You're going to need to make sure that your table is level. Even if you live in a great house that is perfectly level, which I haven't ever been in a house that's the case, your table could be off level. There's just all kinds of things. So get yourself a level, because you're going to want to make sure that the surface that you're putting your mold on is level, so that one side isn't thicker than the other. Oh, this is my thing. I haven't completely gotten all my molds in here yet, but what I have started to do that has saved me a lot is that I write down how much resin goes in each mold. If I have somebody that wants to buy it, it helps me determine a price, because then I know, okay, I bought this resin for, $130, and you divide all that, do the math, right? So it helps me do the math, but it also helps me not waste any, because I found a lot of times that I would be doing something and I would have a little bit of resin left. And you see that the habit is still here. I have a couple of little extra molds right here. They're small because I'm terrified that I'm going to have a little bit of extra resin left. And so I prep myself with little molds. But this is supposed to help me not do that. This is supposed to help me know exactly how much resin I need to pour. Okay. And then the other things you'll see back in here in this corner, I have alcohol inks. I don't know if you can little focus on, but I have alcohol inks. I have a couple of different types of alcohol inks. I have FW inks too. I have some glitters. I have mica powders. That kind of look like that. They will help pigment the resin, but it won't be opaque. So it depends on what I want it to look like, is whether or not I'm going to use those. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the first thing that I'm going to do, which is the new thing. And if I have somebody that's completing resin projects on here, please, please, please let me know if there's an easier way. But I am about to top coat a piece. So I have two pieces that I plan on top coating tonight. I have a couple of trinket. I like making trinket boxes. I have about boxes, okay, guys? I just like collecting boxes. I like painting boxes. I don't know. It's weird, all right? I have a thing about decorative boxes. So this was just one of the like paper mache coffins that you get from Michael's or a craft store. And I took it and I painted it black. And then I cut out a piece of cardstock. Sorry, I thought something was about to fall. I cut a piece of cardstock out and I decoupaged it to the top, and then I put some glitter on the top just to give it a little bit of sparkle. But I want to seal this in, and I'm going to seal this in with resin. The other piece that I've done is another type of little paper mache box. Another little paper mache box. By the way, Lydia, if you're watching this, this is one of the boxes that you've given me, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna paint it and do all this. So I appreciate it. Thank you. But I have this little box, and what I've done with it was I took a literature dictionary page. And I know that sounds weird, but it's an actual thing. And I like the color of the pages. It was an aged book. And so I decoupaged that to the box lid there. And then the witch flying across the moon, she is from some type of like scrapbooking thing that I got from Michael's. It was on sale years ago. I've had her for a while. So I just kind of decoupaged her on the top. And what I want to do, like I said, is seal them in with some resin. Now, once I start doing this, I won't be able to talk anymore. So if it gets rather boring, I'm sorry. I'll make goofy faces at you. Would that help? But I'll do that. It is going to be first making sure things are taped off. I'm going to take these off while I'm doing that. I hate wearing gloves, man. They make my hands so yucky. And I can't ever take them off, right? See, I'm going to have to. All right. So I'm going to have to tape these things off. Before that, though, I don't want to pour directly on this surface, even though I do have like a little shelf liner on here. I don't want to pour directly on this surface. So I have, and I don't, tell me in the comments if I'm the only weirdo that has this or if other artists do this. I have an old board, as you can see, that I will paint on top of. I often mix paints, obviously, right on the board. I do that. But I just have this old board that anytime I need something that might get messy, I bring this out. And it's also pretty heavy, so that way when I'm messing with resin and I need to move it, because I will have to move this and put it behind me so that way I can do the next project, it will stay relatively stable as I move it. So I'm going to use this. And then on top of that, I am going to put a piece of cardboard. Why a piece of cardboard? Again, it gets pretty messy. I don't mind resin getting directly on this. Obviously, it's it's a mess. But I figured for the camera also, it would just be easier for you guys to see this in the camera, to kind of concentrate on this rather than the entire mess that is that board. Okay. So I have these little cups that I'm going to place this way, because the deal is that I will be putting the tops down like this. So that way when I pour the resin, in theory, it's supposed to just go down and then hit the cardboard. The excess will hit the cardboard. So I don't want the resin, though, to like curl back up underneath these. So this is where painter's tape is coming into play. I'm going to take the painter's tape. Hey, Lydia! Did you hear me say about this? This is the box that you gave me with my present in there. The little brown box that you gave me. And so I've put a little witch on top of it, and I'm going to seal her in. So what I'm doing is I'm actually putting painter's tape on the underneath of the coffin, just barely on there. I'm not like really being careful about the tape. I'm just making sure that I've got tape right around the edges of the coffin. Okay. I'm going to put that around every edge of the coffin. So that way, when the resin pours down, sorry guys, I'm like, my brain is not talking to me tonight. It is raining here, and those that know me know what that means. Those that may be watching later and not know me, what does that mean? Well, I have a rare brain disease called idiopathic intracranial hypertension, IIH. Pseudotumor cerebri. My brain thinks that I have a brain tumor, and so it's trying to save itself, and it's pumping my skull full of extra cerebral fluid. And when it rains, it causes me to have a lot more headache than normal. So, and it also causes me to forget words. And you know what? For a person that likes to talk and a person that teaches English, that is a pain. Pain. All right, I'm done with the front top coffin lid. All right, so the coffin lid is done, and I got a little bit of my glitter off of it, but it's okay. It still looks nice. Still looks nice. So I'm going to put that one there, and then I'm going to do this one. After I get these done, I am going to test my level. I am going to put the level directly on top of these pieces because I don't want one side to be thicker than the other. Now, am I going to get it perfect? No, I don't have the tools to do that, or at least I don't know how to do that. And again, if you're watching this and you know a way to get it absolutely level, please tell me, because I struggle with it. I am trying to do what I know logical to do. I guess logical to hold on. Oh, these corners. These corners are hard. Okay. I'm trying to do what I think is logical to keep it level. I'm not entirely sure. Almost done with the top of this box. Almost done. Do I go through a lot of painter's tape? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. A lot of painter's tape. Okay. So there's that. I'm going to check my level. Not level at all. So what do? Well, I have a bunch of popsicle sticks. And typically what I'll do is I'll look to see where it's not level, and I will put popsicle stick underneath my board and try to get it to where it would come out level. Where do I need to lift it the most? Okay, so I need a pretty big thing underneath here. Boy, so I need a pretty big shim underneath here. I might have to put a couple of different popsicle sticks. I wonder why it needs so much today. Probably the cardboard that I have on there. Yeah, definitely the cardboard that I have on there. You know what? I think I'm going to go grab something bigger because this isn't going to get it high enough. So, hold on one moment. We'll use my legal pads, my little tiny legal pads. My little ones. Let's see if I can get it level. Yes. Okay. It's not completely level, but it's level enough. Level enough. Level. Oi. 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 Do this. move you around and see if I can get you level. No, you're gonna fall. Okay, that should be good. All right, so now I've got it level. I am going to put my respirator on, which means I'm going to have to pull my hair down just a bit because my respirator won't go over my hair. So ignore this. Caitlin, I need you. This is awful. Okay? Pandemic needs to stop because my hair, boy. Once this goes on, I'm just making funny faces at you. Or, yeah, making funny faces at you because I'll also have the air filter on once I start pouring. I don't know. Can you hear me with this thing on if I like yell? Lydia, can you hear me? Ah! That's the other thing. I don't like glasses. All right. Ah! Hey, guys. So we're gonna have to do. This is a cute look, isn't it? All right.
That's the place of my eyes.
All right. So we're gonna have to do me a quick favor, and unfortunately, because of my head, we are going to turn on some music. I say my head because of the fact that I have tinnitus in my ears, and it's a pain, and I don't like it. And I hear squealing when it's silent. So we're not going to hear silence. I'm going to turn on some music because I'm not talking right now. So I'm just going to put on whatever is on my is on my Amazon Music right now. There you go. Coldplay channel, something like that. And if I dance, I'm sorry.
So it takes a really long time. You probably can't hear me. Long time.
Okay, one other thing that I want to show you, and I'm putting my glasses over here so I'm completely blind. By the way, don't do this. If you're doing resin, don't pull your mask up. I'm doing this because I can't talk without doing this, but don't do this. When you stir fast, you see how that's cloudy? Well, it's not cloudy, that's bubbles. All right. The faster you stir, the more bubbles you're going to get in there. And I don't want this. I don't want these bubbles in my piece. So the best way to do that is to stir it slow. But we're kind of doing this on live, and I was trying to speed up, and this is what I did to myself. So in order to fix this, there's different things you can do. One, you can just sit here and kind of wait and let some of these bubbles to kind of get to the top, because this is a slower curing resin. Not a super slow curing resin, but it is a slower curing resin. So I can sit and let this kind of get the bubbles out. Or, right? So you're going to see me use this to get some of the bubbles out. And then I'm going to start pouring on this piece. And depending on where we are with time, because I actually have a crafting group that I do at 8 o'clock, that depending on where we are with time is depending on whether or not we get to that other piece. If we don't get to, if it doesn't look like we're going to get to the other piece, then I'm going to use the excess resin and do the smaller ones. So that way we have something to demold tomorrow on our live session. So get to work.
All right, y'all. Sorry.
All right. So, oh, that did feel good, y'all. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna place this behind me real quick. Super attractive, right? All right, I'm gonna place this behind me real quick, and we will use the excess resin to put in a few molds. But I'm hoping this came out right. I'm not entirely I'm not confident. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not confident. I think I missed some spots, but I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna see what it looks like in the morning. Before I place it behind me, though, I see a bunch of bubbles popping up, and this is what I do for the bubbles. Again, by the way, I should be having the mask on, but I needed to talk to you. And I am also sitting right next to the air filter, so I'm pretty confident that it's getting sucked out this way. All right. I'm going to move this behind me. Hold on one moment. All right. All right. I do have open resin, so I am putting this back on. What you are going to see me put together, I was going to do a tea light, but this is a thirsty mold, and I would have to mix a whole lot more, and I just don't think we have the time for it this evening. So instead, I have a couple of little molds right here, like I said that I was going to be doing with you guys. A little mold, I've got this cute one. It's a little alpaca. My husband just got me this one for my birthday, and this one as well. And you can see they come from AJ Molds, or AAJ Molds on Etsy. So I got those. And then these, I believe, my friend Crystal gave me these, and I believe they came from like some type of craft store, probably Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something like that. But Crystal, if you're watching, let me know where you got these. I'm pretty sure that's where you got them, but I'm not 100%. And I am missing one thing that I use for my resin, and I don't know where it went. I have a little rice bag that I keep, and the reason why I keep a little rice bag is because that sometimes these little molds require stability. They just need to be up against something. And so I typically just have like a little Ziploc bag, and I don't know where it went. Well, darn it, y'all. Okay. Well, then we will do it the old-fashioned way. The other reason why I keep rocks on my table. I just got all kinds of weird little hacks. Y'all, when you've grown up poor, and I'm going to do a video later. I was thinking about it earlier, and I'm going to do a video later. I was reading something on Facebook. A friend of mine posted about single parents and what the struggle is. And people that don't know that life, haven't had to struggle, you really don't understand the struggle. And I would like to do a video on what it was like growing up with my mom as a single mom, and then just in poverty in general, because even once she got married, the man that she married didn't make that much money, and we lived below poverty. And I'd like to talk about how that was like, and then I'd also want to talk about my own experience with my own children being a single parent, because there was a couple of years that we did the same thing. We were struggling, and we struggled hard. There's a story that my kids tell about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and eating cabbage soup, and I think I'm going to share that story in that video. So I'm probably going to put that video together tomorrow before our live session tomorrow. But growing up that way, you make do. And this is part of that mechanism, is you make do, and you figure out what you have and you make do. So, or at least that's what I think. I think that I get this from that part of my life, just make do. So I'm going to real quick see if these are level, and absolutely are not level. Are we going to move a little bit? Let's move you just a bit. Yep, there we go, enough. And you move totally. Look at you. Stop being a pain. You're being hurtful. There we go. There we go. All right. Slightly. We can move him. And we're good with him. All right. So the plan with these are not shiny molds. And what do I mean by shiny molds? Okay, if you've never done any resin before, I had to learn this lesson the hard way too. These are not shiny molds. So when I pop these are going to be matte finished. That's just how they look. No matter how much shiny stuff I put in them, they're going to have this matte finish. Now I can take and put a top coat over it and get it to shine. I can also use like nail polish, a top coat of nail polish, and make it shine. Or I could just put in pigments. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to put in some pigments, and I'm going to use a couple of different types of pigments. For the skull, I'm going to use these blue ones. I'm going to make a little blue skull. And I'm probably going to use the blue ones for my little dagger over here. And I am probably not 100% yet, let's see. Let's see what colors would be cool for our little. Let's get. Yeah, let's make a little copper and gold buggy. Let's see what he looks like, copper and gold. All right. We'll see how much we get out of here for my alpaca here. Now, this is a shiny mold. So when I put the resin in, the resin's going to stay clear. You will be able to see straight through it. So for this one, I'm actually going to use my alcohol inks, and I'm going to drop alcohol into these. Okay. And I'm going to do this one first, so that way I can. And you see this stuff over here. This is like projects in motion. I've got all kinds of stuff over here. Projects in motion. And I'm going to move these out of my way because I don't need these up here right now. And I'm going to take a sip of drink. Yes, I went to Burger King earlier. No, it is not healthy. Do I care? Not today. Not today. uh,
I'm beginning to think that this hand's bigger than the other. All right.
Okay, so I changed my mind mid-pour and have decided to actually do resin ink in all of these. And you can see that I real quick like panicked. I was like, I gotta find the more molds because I had more resin than I thought I did. Since I am going to walk you through this, I am taking off the mask. I know I've said don't take off the mask. Please don't take off your mask. I have my air filter legitimately right here, okay? My air filter is right next to me. So I am okay right now, and I'm in a room that's ventilated. So we're good. Don't do this, though. But I'm going to pick out a few inks. Again, these are not shiny molds, so whatever I do in this isn't going to show up real good. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll show up real good. But they're not super shiny molds, so I'm not holding my breath. Let's just say that I'm not saying that this is gonna work real well. Okay, but I do have these gold pigments in alcohol ink, and here's the deal with alcohol inks. You hear that? You got to hear that. If you don't hear that, then your alcohol ink isn't shook up right. With metallic pigments, this is Pinata color copper, and then I have brass. So this is from Pinata ink, and I am going to try to open these. Apparently, what? All right, I'm gonna put some copper in this guy. See where we go. We'll put some copper in this guy too. I'm gonna try to aim it for his body. I've got some kind of like little beetle bug here. And then this guy's a fly. So in my house, we try to make things look a little like oddity shop like. So these guys will fit in on one of our shelves. Now, alcohol ink sits at the top. It sits at the top. You can force it down by putting white pigment, and right now I'm putting brass. You can force it down by putting white in there. But I'm going to do one without the white, and then I'm going to do one where I've just kind of let it drop on its own, and then I'm going to do one where I've swirled stuff around. And I'm going to take the little fly and I'm going to swirl his little gold stuff around, kind of stick the resin in and out. See if I can get something to happen in his little body. So we got him. I'm going to take, you know what? Since I got a little bit of the gold here and this little guy over here is just hanging out, I'm going to put some gold in this guy. See if it comes through. I don't care. We'll experiment. Tomorrow when I do the live feed, we'll see what happens. And then I'm going to put the white into this guy and see if it will drop down. Now, I follow a resin artist by the name of Artsy Madwoman. If you really want to know how to use resin, by all means, go check out her channel because that's where I've learned everything. So, we've got pigment color, we've got alcohol inks that have been stirred, alcohol inks with the white dropping into it, and then alcohol inks with no disturbances. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to use my alcohol inks the way that I know to use them on the alpaca coin and go from there and see what we can do. And then tomorrow during the live feed, I will actually demold these on the live feed. I'll wait. And that's, y'all, that's trying for me. Waiting, I have no patience for this. Like, I get so excited about my artwork. I'm like, oh my god, let me open it now. And then I mess up a piece. My light switches are that way right now. Like, what's the deal, man? Okay, teal or purple? Teal or purple? What says you? Teal or purple? We're going with teal. All right. All right, there we go. Now what I've done was I've dropped all my colors in. All right. Now I have to go back in and I have to drop the white in. Why the white? Well, again, I want these colors to drop. So I got to put white in to make them drop. And that's what they're doing. Now, I typically like to go over and do it like twice at least. And what I do with that is I put the colors that I don't think are going to be super dominant. I try to put those in and see what we get. I think that's why I like resin, is because it's all kind of like chaos art, and I am all about some chaos art. All right. Voila. So tomorrow we'll demold and we'll see how the top coat came out. If you're watching this, later and you didn't join the live stream, do me a favor, tell me what I did wrong. Help me learn. All right. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I am trying to grow the channel as much as possible. I've got videos that I do on a little bit of everything. Why? Because I like a little bit of everything. And I think most people do. So follow me, learn with me, talk with me, subscribe to my channel, share my videos, like. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And like I say always, be happy, be safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, stay away from people. They're gross. Okay. Bye, guys.